We're here.
Podcast times. Today we're talking about Loki, and
Yep.
before I say anything, I just want to admit that I was wrong. I was wrong about the MCU shows choking. I was wrong about the finale being bad. I was wrong about them teasing major villains and me just like
Well,
saying
you're
no. But
wrong.
and I was wrong about the show because I was not gonna be happy about it because there's another dead character after Black Widow, but they proved me wrong.
You're wrong.
My apologies are done now. I
I was
just
only wrong about Kang. Well, I figured it was probably gonna be Kang, but I just didn't want it to be. But now that is Kang,
yeah,
even if it's not really Kang, but it is Kang.
also is.
Like,
So yeah, Loki follows the because he died, so it follows the
yeah,
from the other Endgame one who escaped, and all that. So, um, pros, general thoughts. We'll do general.
good, very good. Probably like the best MCU content I've seen in a while. Well, like in a while, I'm saying.
That's Far From Home.
I mean, Far From Home was amazing. So,
Yeah. So
um,
people don't like Far From like some people are not fans of it.
I don't care about those
They
people.
think it's a teen comedy too much. It's like
I don't.
that's that's not important.
Those are the people that think Andrew Garfield's the best Spider-Man. So
Facts.
I don't appreciate their opinion. Okay.
Like,
Very good show.
like
Just
half
like
that's gonna be the show, not
overall, just like amazing. Um, yeah. I feel like this show was like what Guardians was to the MCU back then because it's like new. It's opening the realm to so much more. Like Guardians opened it to like space and like other things, whatever. Cosmonaut kind of talked about it. How Guardians is like a huge risk, and
mm,
it paid off because it was like one of the best MCU movies. And I feel like this was like a huge risk too, and it paid
paid
off
off.
definitely.
It's just interesting to me because I did not think the show would have. I thought this show would have the least impact on the MCU when it had by far the most.
Yeah,
But I thought it was gonna have the least because it's like a different version of Loki, who's not even the main one we had. But it just like brings a question for me because like if I had to rank the shows, I'd go Loki, WandaVision, Falcon, and I just don't know like why they decided like that this show would be such the pivotal one. Like this one is changes the entire like format of the MCU completely,
everything.
like
Yeah,
more than probably anything.
yeah. Um,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like Falcon definitely wasn't going to be that. Everyone thought WandaVision was going to break the
Multiple.
multiverse,
I'm
but
glad they did it this way though.
yeah, because this show is better than WandaVision. Um, yeah, I don't know. Going into this show, I didn't really know what to expect just because I didn't really know what it was about really that much. I don't know. I just don't watch trailers for things like ever. I just knew it's like I knew it was about the Loki that like escaped in Endgame, and that was about it.
That's pretty. I watched the trailer, but like I didn't know that much. Like I knew that I think the TVA was in. I don't even remember. Like by the time I
Yeah, I
started
don't
the show,
know.
it was a complete surprise to me.
Yeah.
And I
Um.
liked just off the opening. I liked how the beginning scenes of Loki were like the end game scenes, but like from like they showed you Loki way more than like that was cool. I thought because it was like different perspective. But
Yeah. Yeah. I think just like from the beginning, the show had a really strong start.
Mhm.
Um. The first episode was pretty good. Wait, I gotta one sec, one sec. I don't I hope this doesn't show up on the. I don't think it will,
I
right?
don't see it on this right now. So
Okay, wait. Uh, where is it? Where would it be? Oh, desktop. Go, 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 go. Okay, we're good. I had to save. Oh, oh. Okay, we're back. I had to save the other podcast to like my thing. Okay. Um, what's? Oh yeah, first episode. Just like for the premise, I feel like I'm pretty sure I texted you like right after we finished. I was like, dude, this show is gonna be like really good. Just like the premise of him, it didn't even turn out how I expected it to be because I don't think anyone really expected it to be like this. Um, but I was just like the fact like it's Loki chasing another Loki, like just like that ended with I don't know. It's just good.
there was so much about this show that I love. Like it kept you on your toes the whole time because it started at first with like, what's Loki doing in the TVA? Like that was the start, and it's like, oh, it's another Loki variant. Then you figure out that it's like Lady Loki or whatever, Sylvie, the girl at the end of episode two. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, so what's gonna happen? Then it shifts in three and four, and it tells you the TVA is the villain. Then five and six, you find out the timekeepers aren't real, and you're trying to find out who's behind. Like it just kept changing, and
yeah.
but that was good.
I saw an interview with Tom Hiddleston, and I think it was like they asked him like what was his favorite Loki episode, I don't remember what he said, but he was just like, all the episodes are so different, like, and that's so true. Like, all the episodes are like drastically different from each other.
Completely. But the
Um,
show was able to pull it off because it was so weird, but in like a
yeah,
good.
it's good. I liked it.
But this was like, so we talked about like WandaVision. Like, what my major thing was is like, they gave you a ton of speculation and like mystery and intrigue, but they didn't have the payoff, and that's what hurt
Yeah,
the show the most. This show, yeah,
I liked it.
yeah, I'm on a podcast. Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
like all the
this,
questions that like they set up were answered, but like, well, yeah, they're answered, but then they still left room for second season, as they teased at the end.
yeah, I can. So,
Cam, what are your thoughts on Loki? Oh, okay, bye.
Good.
he liked it.
The ending sucked though.
Okay, I
Oh,
disagree.
it sucked. Look how bad it was. I don't know what he's saying. So
Timeline.
far away. I don't know what he said. Still, okay.
Writing is WandaVision.
Okay, let's go.
I
Anyway,
heard WandaVision. That was it. That was literally all I heard.
no, this was yeah. I mean, it was good type of speculation. That's the only reason I was such a hater about the King stuff is because I'd seen it before with Mephisto. I was like, when does this end? And like,
Yeah, I feel like everyone was just like done with WandaVision fans
exhausted by
being
it.
like, nah, and then it was like kind of like that with Power Broker, even though that was so obvious. And then, but this one was like, oh, we're doing this again, and like, I don't know. I just didn't know that much about Kang. But I feel like, um, what's his name? Jonathan Majors, right? I think he did a really good job.
He
Like one
did.
of the best, some of the best acting like in the show, probably.
Yeah,
He was just like a really like you like the character that they set up, like this character that's been sitting alone for like thousands of, I don't even know, like
yeah, a long.
forever. Like he's just like kind of like edgy, like he's on the edge of like kind of crazy, but he's still like funny and like, yeah, I don't know. He's a cool villain.
No, yeah, and like he said, he didn't like the finale, but I loved it because I was so happy they didn't go to a final battle, and like
Yeah, it's
people were like,
all
"Oh, the
off.
finale's it's all talking."
I
Like
told you, I called it. I was literally like, I don't think they're gonna do a final battle because
I
there's
was
still so much exposition that has to be like said,
explaining,
and that's pretty much what happened.
but like if you have patience and like a desire for like something interesting, like it is so worth it because you literally they're in a room just talking for like 40 minutes, but it's so important and it's so interesting because like I don't know, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Cosmonaut said like the show is definitely not like fast paced, and I
Mm,
agree. Like it was kind of slow at some points, but it was like fine because I like the characters. I like
exactly.
going or spending time with them. So it's like,
There's a lot of things that are slow paced and so, like Iron Man 3 isn't like exactly the fastest pace, and that movie's pretty
mm,
good. So I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like they Loki's like it's kind of weird just thinking about how like Loki, this is like Avengers Loki. Like
and not the
just
one we're with.
I don't know. It's just like he was like a psychopath in that movie. Like he was crazy, and like he's kind of like that in the beginning, and then he like pretty much gets his character development that he got throughout the
Yeah,
MCU in
like an
like
episode.
one episode,
You
pretty
just have
much.
to say yes and nod your head because
Yeah,
you got
well, I mean, it makes sense because he saw like his whole future
yeah.
and like how his actions affected like people like his mom, and I don't know. Like it made sense, but like also it's like kind of fast, but I don't really care because the show is amazing.
I love what they did with like Sylvie being like his variant too, like because we are talking about like Loki and his development or whatever, but like
Mm.
it was such a smart way. Like I already said, like to you, how it shows he's a narcissist. Like he literally falls in love with himself, and that's what Mobius
Yeah,
says. And then by the end, like he is caught up to the Loki we know, but it shows like his development by contrasting him because he's like I believe this dude, you know, like you got to trust him. Like trust me, I've been backstabbing my whole life, and I trust the student. Sylvie did not, and now she's created the multiverse. But it was a really cool way to show his development and how he is as a person. So
yeah. I feel like that's like the biggest criticism in the show is like the romance, just because people feel like it's weird
mm,
that he's like in love with like himself, but also not himself. I don't know. I don't mind it that much, just because it makes sense for Loki, and like what you said, like it shows that he's a narcissist, and like, but it's also cool to see Loki care for someone else. Like I know he does, like for like he obviously cared for his mother and Thor and like probably his father too. But like I don't know, it was cool to see him like show affection for this
yeah,
character.
that's what people have to realize. It's not a true romance. It's to develop him and show like what he's doing. You know, like nobody actually buys a romance between him and Sylvie. They don't really. I don't know. I don't really buy that they're in love, but that's not the point. The point is to show he cares for someone and that like what his development. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Yeah. It's just like there's so much to talk about, but also like not that much. It's
Yeah. Well, about the actual show, like because we talked about the characters in Black Widow, I thought okay, I like the characters that they did well. They did really well. Like Mobius was awesome, and Kang or the one He Who Remains was awesome. But the Renslayer lady was just all right. I thought
yeah.
The only good thing about her was like so when they discover that they're variants and that everything they've been working for is like fake, like it shows Mobius. He's like, dude, like join me, like Ren's like we've been betrayed. Don't you want to like get back at who did this to us? But she's in denial of it because like it's her whole life and that's all she knows. And she's
Mm.
like there has to be a reason. And so that's I don't know. I thought that was interesting. That was the good part about her character.
Yeah, it was like the two different ways to approach the same problem. It's like Mobius is like, well, I mean, we gotta like find it out, and she's like still blindly following this belief that like there has to be a reason that they're doing this.
It's
Like
kind of
in
like
the end,
Loki.
she kind of was right, but just because King,
Yeah,
like, I mean, it's better than what's like gonna come for like
I know.
what he warned against.
I mean, us as like an audience, like I didn't know like that the multiverse was gonna start. Like I didn't know who to trust. Like, well, maybe Sylvie
Yeah.
killing him was the right thing. Like, how are we supposed to know? You know?
Mm. Yeah, like as an audience member, you want her to kill it because you want to see what's happening,
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly.
But like the choice that you would have made is probably like the reasonable one would have been not to kill him just because of like what could happen. Even though it's like it's not tech. I mean, it's like it's not morally correct, but it's like it's still probably the right thing to do.
I saw that comment. It was so funny. It was she's not getting the same hate that Star Lord got for like doing whatever he did in Infinity War, but it's because everyone's so psyched to see what's gonna happen now.
I
Like,
know, yeah, that's
we're
true.
grateful for her. So
Dude,
yeah,
everyone is so mad at Stone. I forgot about that.
I know
That was
yeah, but I mean, as the show, like it was good, and I'm excited for season 2. The only thing I don't know is between now and season 2, there's gonna be a lot of like projects in between. So
mm,
like, how does that play in? Like, will season 2 like season 2 will have to play off like whatever movies happen, like Multiverse of Madness. Like season 2 is gonna probably pick up after that because I think Loki's gonna be in that, right? Like, why would he not?
yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just like so much to explore now because there's gonna be like there has to be so much world building just because like there's literally like thousands of multiverses now and like different variations of each one. It's like movies can take place in any one of them. So Loki, I don't know.
I hope they keep doing this. Like, it's easily digestible. Like, it's complicated like ideas, but they make it so easy to process and they like lay it out for you pretty well. So
yeah, like I get it. Yeah,
and I think the biggest thing is now Spider-Verse is a little more likely, and characters like Deadpool from the other it's a way for them to get in these universes now, and like Venom maybe, like I don't know, like it makes me kind of, and Daredevil even, like it makes me kind of more open to these things actually happening
yeah,
rather than
yeah.
blind fan theories.
Spider Verse. It's gonna be
I mean that I guess, but now we know why we haven't gotten a trailer for like a year. So
yeah. They had to wait for like everything to be set up.
it's I don't know. I was happy to see a season 2 because for the other two shows, everyone wanted one for WandaVision. I don't know how that would happen.
I
And
don't.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, there's rumors for that even too. It's like, oh, why not explore more adventures? It's like I don't want more adventures of them. That was kind
Yeah,
of
but what the it's talking to the Winter Soldier. Well, actually, now that they set it up like a little better with Black Widow, that like this lady's gonna be setting stuff up, whatever. Now it kind of makes sense that John Walker is kind of like now he can fit into another project, and even Sharon Carter. I don't know where she's gonna go.
I wonder if they're all gonna have like a payoff in one big project or in multiple things because they even in WandaVision they have Photon or whatever now. And they have
Mm,
White Vision just floating around somewhere. Like they have a lot of like pieces everywhere now, but I just
yeah.
want to see how it all ties together.
Remember when the shows weren't supposed to impact the MCU that much?
Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about. He said
Like
that like
complete
that was
lie.
actually something he said. Like I'm
It
not.
had to be like a joke or just like try to
It
throw
must have
people
been.
off. Cause like what?
Even after WandaVision, I was like, I think a couple things happened that like
Yeah, it's like there's like three new characters now, and then like Falcon
now,
and Winter Soldier, it's like same thing. And now there's a multiverse because of Loki, so it's like, well, I think this show probably broke the MCU more than anything ever.
It made like not okay. Star Wars is way more toxic, but like after WandaVision, like people were kind of toxic a little bit, and it was reminding me of that. Falcon Winter Soldier, people were just like, oh, this show's just meh, and like Loki made it fun to talk about again. Because I remember I was at Universal and I was just texting you the whole time about like the timekeepers and stuff, and it was like fun to theorize and not annoying, but like WandaVision was. I don't know. I kind of like that.
Yeah, the show is like I think everyone agrees the show is good.
I know. I don't. I think everyone has it. That
Oof.
I don't know.
Wouldn't like this show. Theme track. Just like the songs that they play in the show are so good. Like the theme,
It's like
it's
Mandalorian
amazing.
level, or better.
Better than what?
Man, I said it's like Mandalorian level or
Like,
better.
literally, it's so good. I love that song.
Falcon Winter Soldier even have a theme.
Not a recognizable one. I don't know.
That's good.
Action song.
It just seemed like they cared way more about this. Like I don't know if it's because it had higher stakes, but it just seemed like there's more thought into each character and into the whole idea and like the intrigue and the pay. Like it just seemed like it was so much more well planned because
Everything was better. Just like
like
the
chop up the
plot, side characters,
Uh,
actual main characters.
it didn't feel like a movie either that they like sliced. Like it felt like a continuation. Like each one had a cliffhanger. Like it felt like a TV show that I would watch, and I like that.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it was actually a TV show, not like a movie, just split.
Mm-hmm.
WandaVision is just like a big movie, kind of. I don't know. Just the fight scene. I'm so glad they didn't do a fight scene. It would have ruined it, and not ruined it, but it would have made it so much worse. Yeah,
I know. What's his face? Bramer and Cameron both came to me after the finale, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like I wish there was more fighting than that one knife fight." And I was like, I like that it wasn't a fight
yeah.
scene.
I'm so glad they didn't do a fight scene. But then they're also in like episode 5 when old Loki or classic Loki, that's his name.
Yeah.
So Loki can just like become Wanda, kind
Yeah,
of.
I don't understand his powers. Even like when he freezes that building,
Yeah,
like
they all the different Lokis have different powers. It's so
Like,
confusing. They're
totally
all
like I don't know if they nerfed him or they just decided like, okay, this show we could really showcase his stuff. Like I was kind of confused about
Yeah.
that. He was
I
so
guess they just like didn't. It's just because like Loki doesn't really know his actual true potential. 'Cause, like each one has like different abilities, kind of like that dude was really good at projection, I guess. I don't know.
made the entire Asgard.
Yeah. And then
Those-
Sylvie's good at what is it?
Oh, she like taps into their minds.
Yeah.
Enchantment.
Yeah, because she is enchantress, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they didn't like. It's like people don't understand. Like this show perfectly showcased it. Like that they don't follow the comics exactly. Like they did that in this show. Like they had things from the comics. They're different. Like Sylvie is a mix of Lady Loki and actual Sylvie, who's Enchantress. Like she's not like a exact copy from the comics. Kang was like it was like it was like a mix of two characters again. Like he
Remains is a real dude.
actually
Yeah, as well. So it was like 3 people.
Mortis and Kang. Well, yeah, and then the one dude or not the dude, like the big cloud.
Eliath.
Yeah, Elias. Like he's in the comics too. But yeah, I don't know.
They're inspired by like
It's
yeah,
just, like,
it was
that's
good.
what people don't understand. They don't follow comic storylines. Like that make it way too predictable.
Mhm.
It's not Mephisto. He's not.
That's the issue with like this is also about like Invincible. Like that's why I don't want to know what happens in the
Yeah,
comics.
it kind of
Follow it
sucks.
so
I
tightly,
like. I feel like watching it as a comic book fan kind of sucks. You know
you
exactly
know
what's
everything.
gonna
But
happen.
I think I don't know. People on social media seem pretty happy about it because I think
Yeah,
they love the
it's
comics
just
so
like
much that they're happy to see it like adapted.
I don't know. Invincible is so good though. Still.
Invincible's amazing. Shows we've had some pretty good stuff. Like since we watched Invincible and now this and
Yeah, watch my animated shows. We're watching Spider-Man.
Bad Batch picks up. It's just kind of
I gotta watch that.
no. It's kind of like it's not horrible, but that's the issue. It's
Every
not like
once in a while they'll have like a good episode and then they won't.
yeah. Like I don't. I just don't
Really?
understand the purpose of it. Like I don't really get like why they made the show. You know.
Yeah. Just like I don't know. It's
We'll talk about that after the show
they
finishes.
just didn't need that many episodes, I feel like.
Or just the show. Like they better have some sort of reason like towards the end or purpose for the show.
They're gonna die. They have to die. It's like
They must. Otherwise, they're just floating around.
and Crosshair is not even there. Whatever. We can talk about it.
Anyway.
Crosshair like not exist in that show.
For Loki, I wonder like he's definitely had the best arc. Like Wanda's she's just completely insane and evil, and everyone hates her. Falcon was like, I guess it was good. He stepped up to the mantle. Bucky didn't really have an arc, except he told the Asian dude he killed his kid.
That's sad that Bucky didn't have an arc.
And then no, that's why like having like them developing Loki so well, like just made me look back. Like it made me
Like everyone already loved Loki. It's like they're pretty much. I think everyone agreed that he was like, or like for a while Loki was the best villain in everyone's eyes, till like Thanos, Killmonger, But those are like really complex villains. I mean, Loki is too, um, but like this show made him like even better. It's just good.
It's because like he's always been a side character, like because he's obviously the main villain in Avengers, but then the two Thor movies,
Even
he
then,
kind of
he's like he's not even like he is the main villain in Avengers, but then like it's just like they're fighting an army. Like that's the main fight. They're not fighting him.
and most of the time they're just teaming up. Like I know he's always been sidelined, and it's like he's been main like in Ragnarok, and then Infinity War. Obviously, he died, and he had like a good moment at the beginning. But like this show was so cool to see him in the spotlight because like everyone loves him, but now he's like amazing.
Yeah, he's good. It was a good show. I'm glad.
But I just wonder in season 2 now, like obviously they're gonna do something to him because you can't just keep him the same character. But like I wonder if they're even gonna give him like a major arc or just continue the series, like the story now with the multiverse and all that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's like almost completed his arc of like I said from the beginning, it was like gonna be. I don't even know what I said. It was like kind of wrong. It was kind of right. I think I said from like the first episode, it's gonna be Loki realizing. No, yeah, I said something like wrong because like you don't really know where the show is going in the beginning. Like it was like they had it in a completely different direction than I thought, if I'm being honest. So
But it turned out being good at
yeah,
least.
yeah.
But the only problem I guess this poses is like I thought about this when watching like Black Widow, like after like Loki, and I was like, oh, like everything just seems so small scale now. Like after, I mean, obviously, like watching Endgame, looking back at Iron Man, I was like, oh wow, that was like so tiny compared to this. But like now, especially if you have something like I know Shang-Chi's gonna be good, but like look at that compared to the multiverse expanding and breaking and like
I
Spider-Man.
know. It's like they just have to continually top themselves. Like after Endgame, everyone's like, what are they gonna do? And like I feel like they actually succeeded in beating it. But like I have no idea what they're gonna do in like phase 5 or whatever. Like I guess what's his name?
Galactus.
Oh yeah, Galactus. But like what they're all just like trying to conquer worlds. Like Galactus, Dormammu, Kang, Thanos. They're all like they have all the same goals, but it's fine because they're like different villains. Like they're doing it well where like they have personalities.
As long as they write King, because Thanos was like so well written, it was that's what made him so good. Like he's the best villain, like top 5 all time, I would say. But
Yeah.
Kang, like I like that they showcased like the one you said, like the borderline crazy one who's like super goofy almost, and, like insane. But then, because now when we see the real Kang, he's gonna be like whatever.
Serious and
That's
like
like,
yeah.
scary.
I think Jonathan Major was like a good choice.
I think
Hopefully. He seems like a good actor. I feel like he's gonna portray King right.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm
But
excited.
the good thing I saw is that like so we had Thanos at the end of Avengers, like teased barely. Age of Ultron, he puts on the gauntlet, and like I don't know, in Guardians he like talks for like a minute and a half. But they like Infinity War is pretty much his introduction and his like story. But like
Mhm.
the fact that we're getting Kang like in the like third, fourth project in the MCU,
Mhm.
pretty ridiculous. Like that shows that they're gonna like I hope they would write him well and that he appears like throughout until like the big build up movie or whatever. But I
Yeah.
like
Yeah, like
Thanos.
Thanos is set up from the beginning of the MCU, pretty much. Um, yeah. So it's like people, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I feel like they gave him a little bit of time because like he's supposed to be main villain in Ant-Man, which is so weird because
That's
Ant-Man,
interesting. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Like you think it would be Doctor Strange or something.
yeah, like I don't know. Ant-Man's just like such a low scale. I don't know. Like I like Ant-Man. It's like a really good character. It's just like he's not like top villain or like top
For a King type of villain.
yeah.
I for Spider-Man, like if they do Spider-Verse, I just hope they like stick with Tom Holland Spider-Man as the main character. Like I don't want deep characterization of like Andrew. Like when if they bring over characters and stuff, unless it's like a solo movie, like if they bring the X-Men or whatever, like they should still focus on their main people. I don't want to just focus the shift away. Kind of. I don't.
I just feel like so much is gonna happen in that movie. Like not everything like not everything people want is gonna happen. No way. Like
No, they
like
would never will. I mean, they will never live up to their
we
expectations.
just need to see a trailer to get like the general everyone's like, well, it's supposed to be like about him on the run. but like I don't
Nah, yeah, I
know.
don't know anymore. Like, okay, if you laid it, like, I would be satisfied either way at this point.
Yeah.
But like a movie about like because the first two have just been about mostly him. Like, I know Iron Man was like the driving factor, but like he's the main character, and like the third and final chapter still being only about him wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, and him on the run dealing with that. I
Mhm.
don't know. So I just hope the other Spider-Men don't kind of jump on his moment
Yeah.
because we've seen in Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2 when they throw in too many characters, like it just ruined. Like I don't know.
People still think Amazing Spider-Man 2 is good. I
Yeah,
don't. It's like
they
one of the
they're like,
worst
oh,
movies I've ever seen, like ever.
yeah. It's not even like it's like boring. Like the pacing is horrible. Like it's
Not even funny bad.
yeah. Well, sometimes
Yeah, but still,
like when Gwen just
the only the only movie I can think of is worse that like recent is like Wonder Woman 84.
I
The
still
movie is
haven't.
ridiculously bad.
I heard it was boring, like which is
Just
like
like I don't know how they wrote that movie and was like, yeah, let's like produce this and like let's finalize this.
it's so that movie sounds so weird too because like it's not. It just sounds like another type of like movie that Wonder Woman was placed in because the first one is about like the Amazons and the like war and stuff. And they shift to the 80s and like the Wishing Stone in Washington D.C. Like it just seems like they threw Wonder Woman into this random story they had.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like the movie is like strange. I don't know how else to describe it. You gotta
DC
watch
is
it.
struggling.
Huh? I don't know.
I said DC's struggling. Like the
Yeah,
MCU's
they're
kind of
not. They're not
DC's.
good
Yeah,
over there. They gotta like do really well with this Suicide Squad movie, or they're kind of screwed.
the issue though is like the best thing that happened is the Snyder cut, and that's not even canon. Like I don't know.
I mean, is Suicide Squad either? No one knows. I don't know what's happening with the DCEU anymore. Like, what is part of it and what isn't?
Dude, well, they described Suicide Squad 2 as a soft reboot, so
Yeah,
I'm,
like, what does that mean?
they're rebooting, but also it's a sequel, kind of.
It makes-
Like, if James Gunn was not directing that movie, like everybody would be just tearing it apart before it even came out. Like
yeah,
they're so lucky they got him.
yeah, yeah. I'm sad though, but because Guardians 3,
I
but
know.
and
Ugh,
then Guardians Christmas special. I don't even know what that means.
the holiday special.
Yeah, like what? We'll see.
Wow. I mean, look, Loki definitely shifts the like focus of like after WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, all that was like, oh, I wonder what these characters will be. Now this is just like, how's the MCU going to be? So
Mm.
exciting.
And then I saw there's supposed to be like this like hero. I think he's part of the new Avengers. It's like Kang. It's like one of Kang's variants.
Yeah, he's like a
Yeah.
young Avenger.
Yeah, and he realizes like what like Kang did, and he like becomes a good guy.
Mhm.
I don't even know what he does, but it's just Kang.
And I also wonder if What If is going to be like
Multiverse
canon,
God, or
like
like
in
yeah, because I mean technically it's like that does
the
happen.
multi.
Like with
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a theory of a multiverse, like everything that can happen does in some
yeah.
universe.
So it's infinite reality. So
Yeah,
I wonder if that'll actually have effect.
yeah. I don't know.
I'm
But I
excited
mean,
for that.
it makes
I
sense
don't know how
with
people.
the multiverse. So MCU, yeah. I think it's going in a good direction just because of Loki. Everything else can go just like not be part of Phase 4. Maybe I don't care. But Loki is amazing.
I mean, going forward, I'm excited for Shang-Chi, Spider-Man. I Eternals, I still have no hope for. I don't know what that is.
People think that the reason they were like called was because of the multiverse.
Maybe
Because
the only
like
thing
there was like one line in the trailer where they were like, "We haven't needed to interfere
uh,
until now." It's like why would they not interfere with Thanos? But like multiverse break is probably more important. I guess. I don't
that's a weird thing. Danny told me that like I guess this I don't know. I think this is supposed to be hinted in the trailers that like they've been like looking like people and living amongst people for like thousands of years,
Yeah.
and they just like I don't know why they wouldn't intervene at all. Like they're just like, oh, it's all right. Everyone got snapped away. We're just not gonna do anything.
Maybe because they like knew. Maybe
That was
they
working.
know the tone of like TVA. I don't know. They were like, oh, we know that they're gonna bring them back. Oh, and then there was that. You remember that theory where people thought they saw Peggy in the TVA?
Yeah, she,
That didn't happen.
No, did you see the thing they're supposed to have Rocket or you might have sent me that, but I
Really?
just
No rocket.
yeah, Rocket was supposed to be in the TVA, but like just as a
No.
cameo.
It makes sense for Peggy, but also it's like Cap Cap should also be there.
I know.
But like I guess that's also
It wasn't.
part of like what was supposed to happen. Like I guess he was supposed to go back in time to like stay. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but it does.
That's the only weird thing about it being written perfectly up until this point is like it doesn't make the stakes seem lower, but it's like oh like there's nothing surprising because it was all just supposed to go that way anyway. Like if they went differently, it wouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's kind
yeah.
of weird that idea of it.
It's weird. But like I don't know, because it's okay. This is I just watched Doctor Strange, and they talk about a multiverse in that movie.
Yeah,
Like the ancient one, like see, like they set up like it there is a multiverse, like the way she talks about it, but like there isn't one. But then also in Endgame or no Infinity War, Doctor Strange is like there's like 14 million whatever, like those possibilities or those not like different universes. Like that's how I always imagined it, and then they like said no. I
I
don't
didn't
know.
know. Yeah, I didn't know if it was just different like scenarios that could have happened, or if it like
Yeah.
literally is the multiverse.
Yeah, well, I mean, different scenarios are a multiverse. Like
I
that's
know.
like,
And if those
um,
ones don't work, then wouldn't they be reset by the TV? Like I don't know. Like
yeah, exactly. I guess that's what happened.
I just think we're not supposed to overthink it because it could just be.
And now the way they explained, because like when they when they said that sacred timeline or like the timelines were like fighting for superiority, I had no idea what that meant. But now it actually makes sense the way
Yeah,
that or Immortus explained it. That it was like they wanted to win like the war. I don't know, but yeah, makes sense. I don't know. I feel like they answered all the questions that people had pretty much.
I just like wonder like after the next couple Avengers movies come out and like we have all these new like cosmic characters in the multiverse of war, like is Endgame gonna seem small scale? Like is Iron Man and Cap gonna feel like a thing of the past? Because now they're not carrying over at all of the multiverse. Like they happened before that. So
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
like I
So
wonder if what go besides nostalgia, like well going back and watching Captain America and the Winter Soldier, like will that be as satisfying? Like it's
I know, yeah. Like how
uh,
far can the MCU go until like it just gets to a point where it's like, what is even happening
yeah,
anymore?
you would feel. I mean, this feels like I feel like phases 4 through 6 could be like the end. Like you want to end it while it's still on a high note, and like I don't know if you could get like bigger scale than multiverse without it being too grand and confusing, messy.
Sad, but I mean, all good things come to an end.
Except Star Wars, they just drop random things.
It's Star Wars. Star Wars is, I don't know what's happening over there.
These well thought things just make me so mad. Oh, we got to do a sequels podcast still.
Do we?
No, I'm so mad because I like 2 out of 3 of them still. I've been told by so many people that the Last Jedi isn't good, but like I still don't think it's horrible. Like
It's like a movie.
it's just it. I agree that
Happen, it's like why did they happen? But it's like whatever.
that movie is what went wrong though. Like if they made a sequel that was more like Force Awakens, everyone would have been happy. Like it's just so weird.
Maybe if they planned it.
No, just improvise. I don't know what they were doing. That's why just like Kevin Feige plan, literally it seems like the next 12 years of Marvel. It
I
feels
know.
like they've announced projects for so
Like
many years.
DC, there's no way DC plans their movies.
No, they most definitely don't. They don't know what they're doing.
Just like make things.
Because they literally shifted like the Snyder cut happening. Like they literally shifted the entire thing because they had to rewrite it all and like they took out Darkseid completely and like there's no way they're planning if they did that. It's so weird.
So bad. Those movies are terrible. Give me more Dark Knight and Joker.
Those are
Good Joker. I don't want bad Joker.
no, Ethan likes Joaquin.
Yeah, but that's not even who we get. So we don't get Joaquin Phoenix. We get Jared Leto. I still don't know if this Joker's good because he's just got no screen time
Yeah,
whatsoever
he
for
literally
Joker.
hasn't had like a role. So
Okay,
MCU is king. Okay, wrap it up.
well, a lot to unpack that show. Overall consensus: good show, best project of Phase 4. Excited to see where things go.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it.
I'm excited for season 2. Like I'm happy they did that. So
Yeah, made a lot of sense too. Like I figured it was like when they ended, I was like, oh, they're just gonna like pick it up in another movie, but like
I would have been okay with that too.
it would have it making more sense for a season 2. So okay, that was it. I think.
Yeah.
If you like the podcast, subscribe and like the video. Comment for what we should do next. Go follow our TikTok and Instagram at podcast_time_times.
I'll post some maybe, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully. So we're definitely okay. I feel like we have to have a guest next episode. Or I guess we had one for Invincible. We should have a guest. We should have Danny. We're gonna do a sequel. And Thomas. We're having both. If you're listening, again, we're doing that. Thomas and Danny. You guys aren't listening. There's no way, but it's fine.
Danny said he doesn't want to debate Thomas because he said there's no point.
So I'm pretty sure Thomas feels the same way. So. Well, Thomas wants to, but also there's no point. They're not going to change opinions.
That's
It's not a debate. It's just yelling at why the other one's wrong.
That'd be so fun.
We don't even have to say anything. We can sit.
I just be like, okay, go.
Danny already talked so much, and now he has like someone to fight. It'll be great. Okay. Yeah. It's gonna be it for our Loki podcast. We are excited for the MCU.
Yeah, and we will try to like. I think it. I don't know. As long as we like upload a couple days after release, I think it'll be easier to keep a schedule. We just gotta find a time like within 3 days of release, because then we won't keep putting it off.
Yeah. You gotta watch Fast and Furious movies. We can just do like a Fast and Furious podcast. Just like there's no way I'm doing 9 podcasts for each movie. 10, I guess, counting Hobbs and Shaw. There's so many.
Gosh, I don't even know how they did that.
I don't even remember the beginning ones. It's been so long. I gotta rewatch them. I'll rewatch them with you. And Twilight. Okay. We're gonna end it, team. Bye. Thank you for watching. Twilight. No. Okay. Say bye. Say bye. Say bye.
We could group watch it if you want. It's on Netflix now.
Okay. Maybe.
I saw it like last week.
Hey, say bye.
Bye.